City, he says his life is so fucking shitty. Oh, baby, you ain't shitty for your shitty in New Orleans. Come on down, get on that train and start making scene.
Pretty sure I stole that from somebody.
Someone must have made A part of their career at some point.
Well, A, you can't just say A. You gotta, like, I mean specifically like that. A. No, that's a totally different A.
Is it spelled differently?
No, the Fonz is A.
A.
But A, that's a different thing. And I'm sure it's from something already.
Ah, yeah.
But hey, guys. I'm Francis Gunn.
I'm April Cattell.
And thank you for tuning in to Resistance is Dumb. We're excited about this one tonight. We got some really good guests for you. We'll get into that later. But it is Stardate 52020, day 67 of quarantine. And we're still here on the Starship Harwick. Mm-hmm. You know, we branched out this week from watching movies and eating food. Oh, wait, no, we didn't.
Yeah, no, we did. Actually, I'd say we devolved. We've been super good about doing a ton of cooking during this whole, living at home, being at home time, except this last week.
This last week, we frat boyed out.
Chinese food, pizza. We were just, yeah.
But hey. What are you going to do? We'll figure it out.
Whatever.
We know how to cook and everything. So, not much has fucking changed. We could sit here and bitch about ass wipes that go to grocery stores and fucking no future in existence. But that's kind of, not only is everyone talking about that, but we've already talked about that. But, Cuomo, I heard pushed the reopening to June 16th.
Oh, really? I didn't watch the most
Yeah, I mean,
recent.
that could be a lie that some little kid told. But I don't know. Like, I thought that's what I saw. And, like, I don't know, man. I know I'm in a really good position, but I don't yet see an overreaction to this. I get everything that you would say if you were sitting here having a conversation with me about the economy and the effect that's going to have on everything, but I don't know, man. That's not quite excessive to me yet.
No. I mean, I don't know if any of y'all listened to my interview with my friend Peggy yesterday, but or on Monday, but I mean, I had a great time with her, but the end part where she was like, yeah, so I'm expecting this to be terrible for another year at least, and I was just like, oh. I mean, obviously her version of terrible is a lot worse than ours because she's the one seeing everyone in the hospital getting sick and dying and all that, but still, it's not exactly bright and shiny.
Oh, she's talking about the whole world, not just my life.
Yeah.
Like until I die.
Yeah, no, everyone. Yeah. No.
But I don't know, man. I don't want to yammer about this whole thing. Obviously, you guys had nothing but this shoved in your head for 2-3 months, whatever it is. But I tried to pull back on the drinking.
Yes.
This is the part where anybody that's actually like gone through like AA and had like a really hard time like being sober and like counting like, oh, it's like my 97 day and I got the token, and by the way, I found one of them 97 day tokens on the floor of Snappers one time. But
oh my god. Of all the places to lose your token.
I calculated it earlier. 18 hours. Not up until right now. I mean, like, I've been drinking. But yeah, that shit is a fucking bitch, man. You know, if anybody knows me well, knows I'm a little fucking goodle doodle. And, yeah, I just tried to lay off it. And, I don't know. how well known all this is, but alcohol withdrawal is the only withdrawal that can kill you. If somebody is like the worst, like Kurt Cobain fucking heroin addict, and you grab their ass and throw them in a jail cell, in about a week and a half, like, they're gonna be fine. Alcohol's not like that. Like, you'll die.
Yeah. Or benzos actually are the only other one that are like that you can get DT from. Okay. But
I don't know what that is.
It's another thing people get addicted to nowadays that wasn't a thing when we were young.
But yeah, I'm ashamed to say it's like I fucking get gaggy. I smoke too much, so I already have a smoker's cough, and then like I can't control my gag reflex because I cough too much, and like you guys were dying to hear about all this, and like I can't regulate my temperature, so it's like ask her. I'm like a 50. I'm menopausal, like so bad. I'm sitting here freezing. I throw my hoodie on, and then I'm dripping with sweat, throwing my hoodie across the room like a fucking barbarian. Yeah, that's fun. And DTs are fun. Most people think that the DT is short for detox, which would be convenient. No, it's short. It's short for delirium tremens, which is I don't know. It's got to be Latin, right?
Yeah, everything is, or Greek.
It's basically what you go through when you withdraw from alcohol, and it's mainly focused on like hallucinatory shit that starts happening and the way your mind starts working, and like it's the worst in your dreams. See, I always have to explain this to people. Dumbo, we all know the scene where Dumbo gets drunk. We all, except one person, know the scene where Dumbo gets drunk because he's thirsty, so he drinks out of a barrel that happens to have liquor in it, and then Dumbo gets drunk, and then he starts seeing pink elephants on parade. No
I know
recollection.
That song. I just haven't actually seen the movie.
That's what that is.
No, I know.
They got that backwards. That's not when you get drunk. That's when you are a drunk and you try to not drink.
Right.
That's when the pink elephants come around, except they have 19 legs each and they suck blood. But yeah, DT dreams are the worst. Like, I've had like just some horrific... Like, you can have a horrific dream where it's like, my mom tried to kill me, and it's like, okay. Like, a DT dream will be like, I tried to go to the store, and all of a sudden, everything was made of insects. And then the cops pulled over, and they were insects too, and they decided I was luscious, and they needed to make love. And they came insects. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. This is like what this shit is like. But whatever. People have it worse than me. But yeah, don't drink, kids.
Well, I wasn't... You did really good, considering how awful that looked.
By really good, she means I sat on the bed all day and listened to podcasts, shivering, and talked her into microwaving me Chinese food.
Well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Microwave Chinese food.
But you covered, I feel like you didn't push it enough. Last night, I believe, or something, she did a one-on-one interview with her friend who we're calling Nurse Peggy. We're keeping her anonymous, who works in a COVID unit in Hudson Valley Hospital, and it was like eye-opening for people. People enjoyed it. So if you haven't seen that yet, go to Resistance is Dumb on Facebook or on YouTube and check that out. It's like a good one-on-one. We're fucking around most of the time, but like she injected a little social like science shit. So check that out.
We get a little rambly. We have to match the vibe of the show, which is but I thought it was informative and pretty interesting what her take was on things.
But yeah, that June 16th thing, it's like my job, the anchor that I used to work at, is like reformatting. I mean, I don't want to reveal too much of what they're doing, but it's like I don't know, I probably shouldn't talk about this. I might be going back to a to-go only job, which is like a strange prospect for me. But I actually won't elaborate on that. But the other thing I wanted... I'm sorry.
Regardless of whether that's going to be the case or not, the whole world is changing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like woes. I mean, I understand that.
It's weird. Like we had a time period where malls started dying, and now I feel like just generally walking in retail is maybe not going to die, but things are going to be different. It's going to be much harder to maintain a storefront. I feel like even after this passes, because I'm at least hoping that the culture is going to change, but who knows. What I'm hoping, this is again, me and my my friend Nurse Peggy talked about this. Like we're hoping that even after things get lifted, people will still wear masks out in public like they do in other countries.
It ain't been lifted yet, and they ain't washed masks yet.
I know. Yeah, by hoping I mean like, wouldn't that be nice? And also knowing that's not going to happen.
If we were older.
Is that for all the ASMR people who listen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm taking
that.
a little pee, right? You want me to mail that shit to you?
We should start a new bonus episode series where it's us trying really hard to do AMR.
And we just start laughing.
Yeah.
We should record
Oh
us
my
when
God,
we're in bed. I have come up with some of my best bits laying in bed with her, like right before we go to sleep, and I say some shit, and then she just falls out, and I'm like, oh wait, I gotta get up and write that down there.
He starts getting all like, you know, when people get a little sleepy, they're just a little looser and like a little delirious, and you just say the most hilarious, cute things.
One more thing I wanted to talk about with us, my newest addition
Oh yes.
to the pop culture pantheon we have sitting behind us. I want to try to get in close on this a little. This is a one-of-a-kind. I mean, there's only one of these in the world. Action figure of Lloyd the bartender from The Shining.
That looks good. Yeah.
That's really cool in case you are like from Tonga and you don't know what The Shining is.
I saw The Shining. I've seen that a bunch of times.
I keyed.
I love Stephen King. Of course I've seen that movie.
Stephen King. He hates the movie.
I don't care.
But tell me how I'm doing on holding it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, my friend JT Habersat, who's also a stand-up comedian, he lives in Austin, Texas, and he also runs the Altercation Comedy Tour and the Altercation Comedy Festival. He's great. Check him out. He makes one-of-a-kind custom action figures, and it's always like weird shit. One of my favorites was, remember that time RoboCop shot that dude in the dick? Action figure. There's also like the bloody towel from Jaws that they found, like shit like that, like just stupid. But check him out on Facebook. His company is called JT's Customs, and yeah, he's got a Facebook page, real easy to find. But all this shit is one of a kind. Like he makes it all by hand and then puts it up one by one and throws it in the store, and whoever gets it first is the only motherfucker who gets that shit. But yeah, like he obviously did like Danny, like the two girls in the hallway, fucking Jack Torrance, all that shit. But all over the place, not just horror. Fucking right now he's doing like weird superheroes. And the first weird superhero he did was Del the funky Homo sapien. So shit like that. And I'll stay here for the rest of the podcast.
No, because the mic's over here. It's probably didn't pick that up very well.
But yeah, cool shit. Check him out. JT's Customs on Facebook.
Yes.
And there's also like other million people in that group that will post like ridiculously weird action figures they find online too, so it's really entertaining. I saw the other day was what the fuck is that guy's name? Wilford Brimley, the diabetes guy.
The what?
The diabetes. You know that?
I've no fucking clue what you're talking about.
I'm probably getting his fucking name wrong. This is now some people are gonna kill me. Everyone except you knows what I'm talking about when I say diabetes.
Oh, diabetes! You're saying it so much that
That's how he said it.
I know, but you were exaggerating the accent to the point that without the context, I had no idea. Yes, I know who the diabetes guy is from the commercials.
Well, yeah, how else was I going to say? I didn't meet up with him.
Well, you didn't tell me that before, so all I heard was the minute, without any context.
All right. Well, anyway, I saw an action figure of that guy the other day. It just said diabetes across. But that was all I got to fucking chat about. If you want to get into movies, unless you had something else.
Nah.
All right. Well, we're gonna scare April and then review movies like we always do. And I'll try to explain this as cohesively as possible. We have a rating system where each of us gives it a 0 through 10. 0 being the biggest piece of shit you ever saw in your life. 10 being a movie that you feel is perfect and could not be touched with a scalpel. We also have spoiler hats for when we really need to get into shit. And so if you are interested in a movie that we're talking about and you don't want to get it spoiled, you're going to want to mute anytime we've got the hats on. And then you can keep an eye on it, and when we take the hats off, it means we're done spoiling. We're not 100% effective, so sorry ahead of time.
Yeah.
But there's spoilers tonight I don't even want to get into, so
Yeah,
sometimes we don't even use them. Yeah. Let me tell you about the rating system again. It's called forgetting that you already said that.
All right, ready? Let's watch the preview. Oh, give us a little about what we're watching.
All right, well, tonight we're going to review first The Fisher King, which came out in 1991, was directed by Terry Gilliam, who was heavily involved in Monty Python, in so much that he actually directed most of the Monty Python movies, like The Search for the Holy Grail, Life of Brian, shit like that, and then he did a ton of other stuff that was like over the top,
weird,
visionary, crazy shit, you know, like
Time,
probably even
Time Bandits.
Bandits.
The Jabberwocker. What was the one about the monster?
Jabberwocky. Yes, the Jabberwocky.
Yeah.
That was that Weird Alice in Wonderland thing. He also did Brazil, which is like a funny 1984, even though it's still really depressing.
I don't think I've seen that one. We should review that one.
That's a haul. It's funny as fuck, but it's also like so dark.
Okay.
But he also did Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
He did that?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now that you mention it, yeah, that makes sense.
And another movie that we should watch sometime, 12 Monkeys. You ever seen that? It's a time travel movie. Bruce Willis and Mike Tyson. No, it's Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt.
Okay. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's really good.
All right,
really
I'm down. I love Terry Gilliam. I love weird. He's totally bizarro, but I like that shit.
But little tiny, like outside of the director, the two leads in this movie are Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams, and they're both really good in their roles. And like, it might be my favorite Robin Williams movie. I didn't really have time to like go through them all and make sure that was true, but I think it's my favorite Robin Williams movie. So let's check out the trailer.
All right.
Okay, Jack, we're on the air in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's Monday morning, and I'm Jack Lucas.
In the world of talk radio, Jack Lucas was king.
Look, I said I want an offer, they can forget it.
To stay on top, he did whatever he had
Swear to
to.
God.
Forget me!
But one day, Jack went too far.
It was Mr. Lucas's offhand remark that seemed to have fatal impact on Mr. Melnick.
No matter what I have, it feels like I have nothing.
Yo, what's going on?
And just when he was about to give up on his own life, he stumbled into Perry's.
Unhand that degenerate and remove your presence! I like New York in June. How about you?
You know who I am?
A hood ornament.
No. I'm a knight on a special quest,
A quest.
and I need help.
You're out of your mind! Yes!
Now, Jack has to do something he's never done before.
Isn't she a vision? I'm deeply smitten.
Help someone else.
I thought that if I could get him this girl that he loves, things would change for me.
Let's do it right here. Let's go to that place out slender in the grass.
And Mrs. Perry?
Perry.
No, just Perry.
Wow. Like Moses.
I think they were made for each other. Scary, but true.
Sometimes, to find yourself,
I'm the janitor of God. You find some pretty wonderful things in the trash.
you have to risk it all.
Bingo!
I'm not doing that.
Robin Williams, Jeff Bridges, The Fisher King.
I love this guy!
Hug me in public again.
Coming soon. So, I love this movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, they let Robin Williams fuck around a lot, which is like not unusual.
Apparently, it's like it's not even like you.
I think it's in the contract.
Yeah, I don't think you can work with him without him fucking around a lot.
But yeah, that's just kind of how he did. Like, there's a whole scene, they showed a little bit of it in the trailer, where he jumps on the table and tries to bone, like, whatever. It's like, that was obviously not in the script. You'll know what I mean if you watch it. But, basically, to not reiterate too much that was in the trailer, obviously this guy was like living like a super narcissistic, successful life. He was a shock jock, and then something he said on the air led to a tragedy, and it ruined his career. He was about to have a sitcom and like take off, and it fucked his life up. And then next thing we know, he's a complete drunk, self-loathing, self-indulgent, self-everything, self. What do you call it? Just feeling sorry for
self-pitying.
Yes, yeah, there we go, self-pitying. And just like it gets like ultra drunk and starts like treating his girlfriend as taking really good care of him like shit, and ends up in a fucking weird situation. And like Robin Williams, who is a bum in this movie, he's a very Don Quixote character, which Terry Gilliam keeps revisiting.
Yeah.
But you know, he's
I didn't even thought of that, but you're totally right.
Yeah. He's like obviously schizophrenic, and but he's this completely free soul, like Robin Williams, and ends up entangled with Jack and everything, and like they go through all this weird shit, and yeah, I think this is a great fucking movie. It's not the most visually compelling Terry Gilliam movie ever, even though it's great because it's all shot in New York City, so like that's all a lot of fun to look at.
You don't think it's...
No, I mean, when you compare it to
okay,
like nutty shit like fucking Time Bandits. And,
okay, yeah, I'll give you that. It seems like he's trying to do a straight
like
film.
Brazil.
Okay, which I haven't seen yet, but yeah. But yeah, you're right. He usually is a lot more funky and crazy with the cinematography, and this is, except for a few parts, yeah, you're right. It's pretty straight.
But it does take place in New York City, so it's awesome to see a bunch of like beautiful shots in New York City and everything. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just not like, don't expect like Muppet Town like shit usually is. You know, and you know, this plot, like, I dig it as a vehicle. I don't necessarily get on board. Like, I understand the redemption story, but I'm not necessarily like, oh, the way you make it from being a narcissistic piece of shit user person is to embrace completely irrational schizophrenia.
You know, that was literally one of my biggest problems with it too, is I don't, like, it's fine and I enjoyed it, but his character arc seemed a little forced. Like, yeah.
I mean, but it's also like, what else is gonna fucking happen? Like,
I don't know. I mean, alright, so my biggest problem with his... I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
No.
So the fact that he is supposed to use this, he uses this homeless dude in order to create his own redemption, which totally fits into his completely narcissistic tendencies. And I guess that makes sense, because even when he thinks he wins and he gets him the girl, then he immediately treats his girlfriend like shit again. Like, it shows that he didn't actually learn anything from that experience. It was only...
Well, I mean, this is very intentional. Oh, yeah, shit.
Let's just keep him on for a little while. So, alright, he starts off, I'm gonna save this guy and that'll save me. So it's all about him. And then he decides later in the film, oh, I gotta save this guy again, and now I'm really gonna learn my lesson. So I don't really understand why he would have learned his lesson the second time when he didn't the first time. Like, nothing different happened. He
played some basketball.
I mean, yeah, I guess he decided to climb the castle. It still just felt like, alright.
Oh, no,
yeah, sorry. We had the hats on. It still felt like he was still just trying to help this guy in order to help himself. It still felt selfish. It still felt completely ungenerous. And then all of a sudden, the second time he tried to do that was the time that stuck.
I have a slightly different take on that whole arc.
Okay.
I feel like Perry...
That's
I'm going to act like I don't have that written down. Who is Robin Williams' character. Kind of, well, it's hard to say forced himself into his life by saving him from getting, spoiler hats, burned alive. But he didn't really seek that out. And I think it was the tenacity of Perry. And it's like, he was very resistant. Like, even very late in the movie, he was, remember? And he's like yelling at him in the hospital bed, like, what the fuck do you want from me?
Right.
So, like, I feel like he was just resistant for so long until he was just like, all right, fuck this. Like,
so
I'm not saying it's perfect.
I want to push back a little bit on that because Perry pushed his way into his life very early. But then after that, he was the one who was chasing him down the street trying to force money on him. And, like, that whole scene where Perry tried to give the money to the other homeless dude, and him getting mad about it because he was like, no, this is supposed to help you make your life better. He's just trying to buy off his soul, you know? Like, he feels like he's lost his soul.
But that's something people do. So it's like, I was like, that like made sense. I was
yeah,
like,
no.
This is something you would do.
Totally makes sense. But then when it doesn't work and he's like, oh shit, now I have to do it again, I don't see why him doing it again would suddenly give him a turnaround of heart and he'll be a new person at the end of the movie.
I think it was just, and even with the hats, I don't want to get too much more into what happens. I think it was tied up a little better than you give me credit for, but I understand what you're saying.
I get he needs to have the redemption arc. I get that. I just felt like it didn't quite, I didn't buy it. Like, there should have been a little bit more of him, like, actually, like, showing me why anything would have changed for him. Like, there was just the moment it seemed like things changed for him was that scene where he's getting offered the new TV show and they're describing Home Free, remember? Yeah. About, like, these homeless people, but they love being homeless. It's great. And then he shows his, like, a close-up of his face, like, I'm having
I actually love that scene.
No, me too. That's fine. But the thing is, they had the big, like, the moment of epiphany, where you see his face, he's like, and then he goes down and tries to find the best homeless dude ever. I don't remember that guy's name. The cabaret homeless dude with the little mustache. Yeah. So, I love him. He was the best, I think. Right up there with Robin Williams. So, then he goes out and that's supposed to be the moment where he like, okay, I realized that I had it wrong the whole time because these douchey rich people are trying to make this stupid show and that's opening my mind. Really? Like, that's what opened your mind? Like, that, I don't know. It just seemed a little like, okay.
Well, I mean, I could fucking be annoying and be like, having spent time with homeless people, he was more sensitive to the
But he wasn't, though. As soon as he thought he had bought his soul
until
off.
that moment when you realized, like, the vapidity of, like, the situation he was in.
I get that. It just seems like if he was such an incredible dick after he had his, like, little mini redemption arc and, like, I saved Perry and got him a girlfriend and now everything's great, he immediately dumps his girlfriend who's supporting him and then is rude to his friend, the mustache homeless guy. And then, like, just because...
I really hope you guys haven't seen this movie.
And then the moment that somebody is like, I want to make... I get that I get why they're trying to make that be his epiphany moment. It just seems like, why would that be enough? I don't know. But okay. You're like, nah.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. All right. I'm done spoiling.
All right.
For me, this movie, like, the homeless people... Okay, this is a comedy for me. Like, this movie makes me laugh over and over and over again. Like, and I forget little things, and then I see it, and it just kills me. Like... So that's why, like, I hold this movie in such high regard. Like I was saying, it's not the most, like, visually mind-breaking Terry Gilliam thing ever. It's not supposed to be. There's some really cool effects in it and whatnot. I don't think we'd said anything with the Red Knight. Yeah, Robin Williams hallucinates a weird knight chasing him. That's the Don Quixote thing.
The whole thing is the Don Quixote thing. If you don't know this movie, just read Don Quixote, and just imagine that Sancho, instead of being, like, a slightly dim guy, is actually, like, a narcissistic douchebag, and then you have this movie.
But then there is a plot development later on, spoiler hats are off, don't worry, that actually makes you realize that Jack and Perry have a more intertwined history, which is, I think, one of the more poignant plot points of this entire movie, Mm-hmm. But, yeah, this is a hilarious comedy to me. Like I said, the philosophy is, like, I'll go along with it the same way I'll go along with, like, some, like, Disney movie or something just for whatever else is going to thrill me. And it's like, I don't do the, like, okay, all you had to do was act like a asswipe crazy person and it, like, saved your life. But it's fun, it works. And, for me, this is just funny as fuck. The way the homeless people are portrayed in this movie, I think, is, like, very sympathetic, but also just, like, ridiculous enough to be fucking hysterical. Like, to the point that, like, I was wondering if they were actually just filming people rather than actors. And Tom Waits makes a really cool cameo as a homeless guy.
I love his
awesome.
monologue. Tom Waits' little monologue that he gives to Jack, explaining why he what the situation is with him getting money from people in Grand Central Station. Like, that pretty much summed up to me the moral of the movie, which is it's about class and the dynamic between the haves and the have-nots, and the people who are neurodeficient and neurotypical, and what that means in terms of their relationships and how they treat each other like human beings. And it was all kind of summed up in If you want to just know, here's the other thing. All right, so if you want to know what this movie is, it's Don Quixote with a douchebag Sancho, plus just watch Tom Waits' little speech.
Sancho?
Sancho. That's Don Quixote's side. The guy who's not crazy.
They said sound show, and
Sancho.
you're talking about the guy's radio show. And I was like, that's not what it's called, right?
Sancho. That's Don Quixote's sidekick. Well,
thank you so much for listening to our sound show. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, yeah, Tom Waits' speech is excellent, and it sums up to me the moral and the heart of the movie. So it's good.
Yeah, it's especially cute and cosmically correct that, like, you're watching a movie and Tom Waits is just like,
capitalism, am I right?
This is the whole point of the movie. Anyway.
All right, can I say one other thing that I thought was negative about it?
Sure.
All right, I need a spoiler hat for this. While I thought that all the homeless characters and their various mental illnesses and the way they were portrayed were amusing and not and didn't seem, to what am I trying to say? It didn't seem like they were like going into a caricature realm. It was really funny, but it wasn't like making fun of them funny. The one negative thing I have to say about that, though, is that they were pretty much portraying mental illness as something that you can just cure with a button. Like in this case, the button is the Holy Grail that he's supposed to collect.
Well, that's a whole thing.
Right. What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know. We do have to move on. I didn't realize how long we've gone.
Well, we took a long break.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a back and forth. Because it's like Jack fixed his life by being crazy and then fixed things that he got the stupid Holy Grail. Even people that have seen this don't hear us say this thing that happened.
I just feel like it's not necessarily the most positive or healthy way to think about mental illness, is that, all right, we just need to find that one key and then they'll be cured. Like, curing mental illness is hard work. It takes time. You don't find the one thing that you needed to click everything open and then they're fine and everything's solved.
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to be a step-by-step pamphlet. Which leads me to my conclusion on this. This is a comedy to me. The story and the story and the characters, all great. It's fine. It's a fine package put all together. But to me, it's window dressing as a vehicle for just funny shit. Like, this movie is so fucking funny. You will laugh if you watch this movie. So check it out. It's great. And I give it an 8. Even though, just because it fucking kills me.
I give it an 8
time.
too. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So how do we do it? Oh yeah, an 8.
Yeah.
You get an 8 from Resistance is Dumb. Terry Gilliam. By the way, he's a pissant these days.
Is he? You told me about that.
I almost mentioned that at the beginning, but then I wanted to leave it alone. Let's leave it alone.
All right.
So now that we did that, cheers.
Cheers.
The Fisher King gets an 8 from Resistance is Dumb. And now we're gonna get on our second movie, which is called Us. This might be the newest movie we have reviewed so far.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That came out in 2019. For people who are wearing sweatpants on their head right now, that was last year. It's directed by Jordan Peele, who, of course, was part of the sketch duo Key and Peele on Comedy Central, really successful, really funny shit. He also directed another hit, Get Out, a couple years back, which was a little bit, I don't want to get into that because I do want to talk about it later. But yeah, here's the trailer for Us.
You know how sometimes things line up?
Oh, it's rated R. You made me watch a rated R.
Since we've been up here, they've been happening more and more. It's like there's this black cloud hanging over us.
There's a family in our driveway.
Who is that?
Run.
Creepy.
What are you people?
It's us.
Rated R. Why don't you make with the synopsis,
All right.
Dal?
All right. So, Us is all right. So there's this family. The matriarch of the family is Adelaide Wilson, and they decide to go to her childhood home, which is this beachfront home in California somewhere. And when she gets there, she is being haunted by all these past traumas. And she has all these weird fears that start coming to pass. And then one day, these 4 strangers show up at their house and start fucking with them. And they have to fight these 4 people and then realize that they look exactly like them. And that's the spoiler-free version of the synopsis. So yeah, Us.
It's like the mirror episodes of Star Trek with stabbing.
Yeah, and none of the evil versions have a goatee, so what the fuck?
No, I was waiting for the goatee.
Yeah. That's how you know Peel never watched Star Trek. That's how you show people are evil. They have a goatee. Anyway, that aside. So I guess I'm going to start. I really like this movie. It's not Get Out. Get Out, I think, is one of the most perfect horror movies ever. I love it. I don't think this movie is as amazing as Get Out. I can see people like teaching Get Out in like film classes. This one maybe not. I don't know.
Word, I feel that, huh?
Right? But I still think this is a great genre pick. It's not the same type of horror movie as Get Out. It's a different type of horror movie. But I loved it. I just love scary movies. Like, even, I love being scared. I love the suspense. I love the jump scares, all of it. Like, even during the preview right now, I was just like, whew, like getting all, like, freaked out. I love that shit. And this movie had a lot of that. It's so fucking creepy. I'm trying to do as little spoilery as possible at the top. The suspense is great. The creep factor is great. The gore is great. Actually, I think they were a little light on the gore. They could have gone a little gorier. They did a lot of like cutting away from the slice.
Like sometimes, like when there's intestines flying in every direction, it's kind of like ew, but all right. Like when it's like a bunch of times, you're just like, oh no, another.
That's fair enough. They don't always have to show the gore. Obviously, but I think that was definitely an intentional choice on the director's part, because I do feel like there's a lot more gore in Get Out than in this one.
Really?
On-screen gore, like on screen and Get Out. Spoiler for Get Out. On screen.
You lost our hats. Podcast canceled.
On screen and Get Out, they show the whole like cutting, like his head open part, and like.
Oh shit! I barely remember that. We'll have to watch that again.
They showed all of that, and in this, I'm trying to remember how much gore they actually showed. They cut away on almost everything. All right, back to the.
No more spoiling.
Okay. But yeah, I'll wait to go into some of this other stuff. But that's just my general feeling about it. I really liked it. I thought it was really skillfully done in a lot of ways. There are things about it that make me not like it as much as Get Out, but generally I like it. What do you think?
I really liked it. This is a freaky movie.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the kind of movie like if you don't like horror movies, like you will not enjoy watching this movie because it's scary. It makes perfect sense to me that Jordan Peele got selected to do the new Twilight Zone, because like it's very much in that vein.
Yes, definitely.
Where you think you got its number, and then it's like, oh snap!
Yeah,
like a bunch of times throughout the film.
And just real quick on that, the feeling of, this isn't a spoiler, but when they start to reveal different things that are happening, it all seems like it seems like they're not explaining everything. It seems, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of holes that people have to fill in, and Twilight Zone does that too, where they leave holes that you have to fill in. Anyway, keep going.
Twilight also does that.
I don't know.
There's a bunch of holes I had to fill in.
Okay.
I've never seen Twilight.
Me neither. Let's keep it that way.
But, this is more... I've heard fucking Get Out described as a comedy horror movie. That never made sense to me. So I have things to say about Get Out. I know that's not what we're talking about, but I'm trying to make a comparison. But I would say Get Out is more of a psychological thriller / horror movie. Like, this is a straight up horror movie. It's not like zombie, but it's like... There's a vibe. It's a cult. It's an evil twin movie.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine if you showed up to kill yourself.
Right.
Friggin'... And it does... I did get turned off a little bit towards the end by one thing. Not a lot, but I'll talk about it in a second when we're spoiler hatting. But it turned me around at the end with what... unfortunately has become to be known as the M. Night Shyamalan ending, where they flip the script. Mm-hmm. And that's almost... him alone, M. Night Shyamalan, has almost made that a negative trope, even though it's like the coolest thing that could happen in movies. But yeah, it's got a good one.
I think I would not say that takes away, like, that wouldn't take a point off from the movie for me. I thought it was really well done, and it changed.
No, I hate saying M. Night Shyamalan, because then people are like, oh no, does it suck?
Yeah, no, it doesn't suck. I mean, I don't think it sucks.
No. But, yeah. I think it's really fucking fantastic, and I wanted to make a comparison to Get Out.
Do you want to do it now, or when we're in spoilers?
No, I can get some stuff out.
Okay.
You're gonna disagree with me about a percentage of this, but, like, Jordan Peele got shit recently, for the director, for coming out, like, because you know how the fuck things are. Like, I don't know if he got criticism first for casting, like, black people, or he just put a statement out. I don't know. But he said, like, I've seen all these movies with white people.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that fucking brings the cavalry.
What's wrong with that?
No,
what were they mad about?
Well, because they're just pissed that he's like, I'm trying to make movies with black people, and they're like, oh, it's the same thing as Black Lives Matter. Well, what about white lives? It's like, that's not what I was talking about.
Jesus Christ, people are really mad about that. Like there isn't.
I don't know if they're still mad, but it was like a thing when he said that, when he was like, I'm trying to make movies with black people.
All right.
You know, so, and like, obviously that's fine, but the reasons, I don't know, just the dumb thoughts I've had about that, like, I feel like Get Out is so much scarier because the protagonist is black, and because, I'm trying to not spoil this, because the people that are the victims of the movie are black. Like, it gives it an added tension, and that happens to happen in, like, every movie when, like, victims are black. Like, you just get on edge. I'm saying this is a fucking stupid white person, but I'm just like, I fear these people. And it's like, Get Out would have been an entirely different movie. I don't know if anybody's seen Get Out, but if the victims were just virile young white males, like, it still would have been pretty scary, but it also would have been like, you're almost just like, yeah, fuck them.
Well, then it wouldn't even make sense, because the whole movie is about race.
Well, I think you could arguably make that movie where it's just like, we're stealing youth from people, and it doesn't have to be black people, but I think the fact that it was black people, like, made it like that, white people stealing youth from black people made it like that much scarier. Like,
yeah, because it's in the historical context of the United States.
And so, like, let me get through this.
Okay.
This is going to take a couple thoughts.
All right.
Like, this movie, I I feel like could have been 85, I might be being a little generous, 85% just as scary and creepy if the family was white. But the fact that I was watching this film and I was noticing the entire fucking time that, like, wow, this is always a white family in these movies. But I'm, like, noticing that it's a black family constantly illustrates his fucking point about, like, I'm tired of, like, I don't need any more white people in movies.
Well, and that's maybe that's
sounds.
why it pissed off people, because the Get Out had, like, the entire the thesis of Get Out was very mixed up in the race dynamics of the villains and the victims and their interaction with the police, and it was constant, and it was a part of the story of the movie. This movie, that specifically in the story, that didn't really matter. That family could have been white. It didn't matter.
That was more of a style choice.
Right. Well, whatever.
Seriously, I mean, with the music and everything.
Like, but maybe that's why it pissed them off so much, because you couldn't have, like, it's like, oh, well, you could have had a white family because this is just family, and family is always supposed to be white unless you say black family. You know what I mean? It's like, well, no, it's still just family.
Yeah, my point being just the fact that I was so conscious of the fact that it was black actors in roles that are usually filled by white actors completely illustrates why that guy wanted to just do this, and like why, and that's my virtue signaling for the week, guys.
No, it makes sense. The fact that you noticed it proves that it's notable.
Because I'm just used to seeing like white idiots in these roles, like.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I think the rest of my comments about this movie have to be done with spoiler hats on, so I'm gonna. All
right. Yeah, I have one thing to address with that. So.
All right, spoiler hats on for people who are listening and not watching. Okay. So, I'm gonna go, I'm kind of jumping to the end here, because that's the stuff that's juiciest to me. The whole beginning of the movie I find to be just a really well done horror movie. Like, it hit all the, like, it's like a nice horror movie genre pick. It's like everything that you would expect in that genre, weird, and that's where a lot of the social commentary comes in too, is closer to the end. And so I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I
really fear that people are not going to be able to resist not listening, even if they haven't.
That's their fucking problem. That's why we're giving these spoilers. If they want to listen, they want to listen. It seems like to me that we are supposed to think these people are the villains at the beginning of the movie, and then by the end, and this is a spoiler, the big spoiler, I have to tell the twist.
No, I don't. I really do. No,
how am I supposed to explain the?
I think we might have intrigued the people enough. I don't know, man. That's so major.
Well, I don't have anything else to say then, because everything else is about, you would only understand what I was trying to say if you knew about the spoiler. So.
We do have to move on.
Okay.
How do you rate it?
So I rate it 8.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well. So we're across the board tonight. 8 on Us. Check it out. It's really good, unless you like don't like scary movies, because it's fucking really scary. Like super duper scary.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go to intermission now, and then when we get back, we will be calling our guest Mike Marino.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shout out real quick. If you're looking for food in Midtown Kingston, the Anchor is still open for delivery and takeout. You can get a hold of them at 845-853-8124 or theanchorkingston.com. And they're doing booze and food to go. They're open from Wednesday through Sunday from 12 to 8, I believe. But check them out beforehand, because hours are subject to change, because it's the end of the world. But, this is my brother we're about to play for you. His name's Matt Heckler. He's awesome. Haven't seen him in a while, but heard him. So check this out, and we'll be back.
From the willow tree, honey, cut me down, 'cause I can't breathe. chop it all, tune up and play. 'Cause I know it's hard when the sun goes down to be alone on shaking grounds. Go get some matches and kerosene. We'll burn it down, honey, burn out and leave. I'll bleed out slowly in my Sunday vest. When you come around in that Sunday dress, with your blue eyes dancing, drawing me in, and sideways glancing, honey, where you been? And I know it's hard when the sun goes down to be alone on shaking grounds. Go get some matches and kerosene. Well, burn it down, honey, burn out and leave. And I know it's hard when the sun goes down to be alone on shaking grounds. Go get some matches and kerosene, and we'll burn it down, honey, burn out and leave.
Okay, welcome back. That was Blue Eyes Dancing by Matt Heckler, who is my brother, and I don't mean the train hopping kind. I mean, like, we touch the same vagina. But you can find him on YouTube at Matt Heckler. And, yeah, there's not a hell of a lot of Matt Hecklers. I'm sure there's a couple posers out there. But right now we're going to go to our guest, Mike Milkshake Marino. I guess never mind. Let's say Michael Milkshake Marino, because I think there was an issue there. But we're going to play you a little clip of his stand-up right now. So check this out, and we'll be right back.
Anybody come on this table? Nobody, they're all outside. Are you pointing to Milan and something Hitler used over there? In all my days, I've never seen a perfect specimen. Congratulations.
It's our dear friend Mike Marino. Thank you so much for waiting until we figured all that out, even though it's mostly your fault.
Did it sound good?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
It sounds good.
Like shit. Did Francis do what I told him to do?
What? To go fuck myself?
Oh shit! No,
No.
I forgot to tell him.
God damn it! All right, we have to start over again.
All right. Wait, what did you want to say again? I already forgot.
Go ahead, caller, line 2.
Okay.
All right, we got Mike from Wappingers Falls got a hot take on coronavirus. He thinks it's a Jewish conspiracy. Go ahead, Mike, on line 2.
Yes. I think it's specifically the Russian Jews.
Oh, then
the Bolsheviks.
Yes, the Bolsheviks.
Our old friends, the Bolsheviks.
Those guy with the furry hats, right?
Yeah, Klingons. I mean Bolsheviks. Shit, sorry. I keep fucking that up. All I know is I think they were the ones that ran in on Fievel in American Tail.
I'm laughing like I know what he's talking about right now.
You've never seen American Tail?
Is that the one with the mice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's spelled
I think
PAIL because they're very clever over there at the American Tail Studios.
Yeah, no, I think I have seen it at some point in my childhood and no longer remember.
Somewhere.
I know that song. I sang that song at theater camp when I was 10 years old.
I sang that song at theater camp when I was 10 years old. Sorry, I'm just translating.
Do you guys have a soundboard?
No, see, this is where the complications come in. We don't have any kind of fancy equipment like that. All I have is a MacBook Air, so I have to do everything on this, like, low processing speed laptop that you usually would have, like, a soundboard and a professional grade computer. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying our best to not soundboard.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
anyway,
I was hoping for some like weird sound effects in the background or something.
Wait, hold on. Boing.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
Oh my.
So what have you been doing, dude? Well, actually, I know what you've been doing, but tell Francis what you've been doing.
Tell me what you've been
doing. Nothing.
That is such a lie. You've been working so much. With your dad, I mean.
Yeah, well, we're working. We're pretty slow or whatever. This is what you guys talk about on the podcast? Come on. Give me some hardball questions here.
Hardball questions? Okay. Yeah. What is your take on, I can't think of any hardball questions right now.
What are we resisting, by the way? What is the resistance dumb to the resistance, though?
It's a Star Trek reference.
It's a Star Trek joke.
Oh, okay.
Because the Borg say you must assimilate, you must serve us, resistance is futile. So we want you to assimilate and join us, but resistance is dumb because we're not.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some take on modern society or something like that.
Oh no, I'm all about resistance. That's good.
What isn't these days, Mike? Am I right?
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I guess that might not be entirely clear, but I feel like because the font is Star Trek and it's obviously Star Trek nerdy stuff that people who know that Star Trek.
And it made me laugh really hard when I thought of it, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah. I guess now that you mention it, people probably think we're some kind of like fascists for not wanting people to resist, but that's not the case. I'm all about resistance.
Good. Weed them out.
Weed them out. Most of your fan base Star Trek fans?
No, I think most of our fan base are just people who know us and people who know us, and maybe 4 of them are Star Trek fans.
Yeah, they're us fans, and hopefully we'll be a gateway for them to,
yes.
So where if I was an uninformed person about Star Trek, where would you tell me to start?
I would say watch a couple episodes of the original series, not the first couple, but the classic ones. And then the next generation, and this is me, the novice. I am but the learner, and she is the master, but I chimed in before she did. Watch a bunch of the next generation. That's the real cream of the crop, with Patrick Stewart and whatnot. And the movies are really good, too. Like, pretty much all the movies are, like, really good.
So I love the original series, but I understand that is kind of a campy thing to ask people to jump into head first.
How dare you say such things?
So yeah, I agree. I would say like if you want to watch, maybe like watch a couple episodes of Next Gen and then watch Picard and then be like, ooh, Star Trek is cool, and then go back and watch the original series. Right now I'm actually watching
Picard is good.
It's so
Did you just say watch Picard before you watch everything else?
No, I said watch a couple episodes of Next Gen so you have context for Picard and then watch Picard. Right now I'm watching
I have to flip the table.
Now I'm watching Deep Space Nine, which is, I don't even know when that came out. I never watched it when it came out. And I'm in like season 6 right now, and I love it. But I don't know if I would recommend that to people who are Star Trek novices.
Yeah, I've been trying really hard to get into Deep Space 2 cups. Or wait, no, Deep Space 1 cup. Fuck, I fucked that joke up.
I don't even. I didn't get it.
Whatever. I'm not going to explain it because that's a want.
Was that a vagina joke? Or was that
I was trying to say joke? Deep Space 1 cup.
For what?
Never mind the both of y'all. It's about the Poopin' Girls video.
I know, but what does that have to do with Deep Space Nine?
Because it's just funny to say that instead of the.
Oh, okay. So it's just a bad joke. I did get it. I figured I didn't get it because it didn't make any sense. But no,
I thought you were
Deep
making
Space One Cup. Good joke if you say it right, folks. You can have that free of charge.
You were making a Diva Cup joke. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I mean, that would have made more sense than Two Girls, One Cup with Deep Space Nine being mashed together. So, but no.
It's numbers and a lot of words. A lot of words, folks. Welcome to Reading Rainbow.
Is that guy really reading stories online right now?
I heard.
Have you listened to any?
No.
No, what do you think, we're retired?
And you know who else is reading stories online? I think, Patrick Stewart is reading...
Professor X.
Is reading Shakespeare sonnets online. All these actors are bored just like us, and they're like, what can I do with my cell phone in my house? So, yeah.
You mean like every comic doing a Zoom open mic?
Exactly. They're all doing the same thing. They're just reading Shakespeare and children's books because they care about good content.
I mean, like, hey, if you're, like, my buddy Oscar is doing the Zoom comedy thing, but I think it's his own show, and he had, like, 80 people tune in, so good for him if he's making money off of it, but if, I feel like there's no need for me to get into a fucking Zoom thing with 10 other comics trying to tell stupid jokes in my bedroom.
It sounds like such a fucking unfortunate mosh pit.
Yeah.
It sounds like a perfect scenario for suicide.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I mean, that would be a fucking bummer to actually do that during one.
I think it'd be a bummer anytime, but yeah.
I think that would be the highlight of the show, to be honest with you.
Everyone be like, I'm going to do 2 minutes of kid-friendly material. So go get your kids out of the other room, and then you shoot yourself.
I mean, yeah, it's just not for me. I don't know. I mean, have you done one, Francis?
Fuck no, but I mean, I'm not above like eventually succumbing to that. It's just like, it seems so fucking weird. And all I've heard is nightmare stories. Not just nightmare stories from my close friends who are lo-fi, you know, but like people on the podcast I listen to, like very successful comedians, they're like, I did it. It was fucking abysmal. So I'm like, I'm not in a hurry.
The only person that we've talked to about it on the podcast that has done it is David, and he said he's done 2. One was absolutely terrible, and the other one was okay.
Yeah, I watched one, and I'm not saying anything that I haven't said to his face. That shit was brutal. It was crazy. He opened a book and started talking about dogs, and I was like, okay. This is where we're going with this.
Well, that sounds like that might have been also a David problem. No, it just sounds like, from what I've heard, it's like, why did the chicken cross to get to it?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? And you're like, this crowd sucks.
Yeah, I'm not that desperate for attention. Did you see the Mark Norman video when he was doing jokes on the street?
No.
Of New York City? That was pretty funny. He was trying to do coronavirus jokes to like just people on the street.
Huh.
And
it was great way to get popular with strangers.
Yeah.
Did he have like a little stage that he set up, or was he just walking around and talking at people?
He had platform.
No, he had a microphone and a camera, and he asked people, like, "Can I try out some Corona jokes on you?" And
what a great way to start it! Just like, can I try out some Corona anything on you? Can I try out some Corona vaccines on you? Don't worry, I have a squirt gun if you're afraid of needles. Just open your mouth.
I know there's got to be some people out there. Actually, there's a vaccine that just got announced yesterday on the radio.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, I don't know where it's going to go, but, it was on the radio.
I mean, the thing I'm worried about with the vaccines is that usually from when they find a vaccine that they think is good enough to start doing testing on to when they actually have the vaccine available widely is about a year. And so I'm assuming they're going to rush through that process a little bit in this case. But then what does that mean in terms of the efficacy of the vaccine if they're rushing through the testing process?
That's the thing is it's not even a couple months in and you're already announcing you have one, and then you know, I don't know. I don't trust anything, but
yeah,
it is hard. I mean, what I keep hearing is that COVID is a form of the common cold, albeit a particularly nasty one, but we don't have any vaccines for those either. So when people start talking about vaccines for that, I'm just like we still don't. I mean, I guess the flu shot is like a diet vaccine for the flu, but
no. Well, it's because the reason why they don't bother vaccinating against the common cold is because every time you get a cold, it's a different mutation of the cold. It's not the same virus anymore. Because once you have it, you technically have built up a natural immunity to that one type of cold virus. So there's so many that's why it's the common cold, because there's just so many of them. They're so like everywhere and they are constantly mutating and changing that there's no point in even vaccinating. It's like with the flu shots, even though it's sometimes like a good year, it's like 50% good at keeping it only prevents 50, but there's like all these different flu viruses running around and it immunizes you against 50% of them in a good year. I mean, that's still 50% less than you were going to be exposed to otherwise, but it's not 100% of them.
I mean, I'm not a healthcare professional. It probably would have been a better question for yesterday's guest. But so that was Married with Children background, right?
Yeah, that was the fucking point, because we were calling her Peggy.
Yeah, well, I think I was the only one who got that.
No, I saw it immediately, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because Francis
I heard the toilet flush.
seeing it for the first time.
That was a good interview, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And did she distort her voice?
You what?
Did you distort her voice?
No, that's just her voice.
Oh, okay, because it sounded a little different. I was like, maybe, but yeah. No, it was good. It was good. But yeah, I'm no healthcare professional, but I think the best way, I guess what would put my mind at ease is if they found a good medication that if you get it, it will help you get better. Like the strep throat. I don't know if the strep throat has anything to do with it.
How did you just put that together?
Well, I'm not saying a vaccine.
No, you're saying that you wish there was a treatment plan. Yes, that would be great if there was a treatment plan.
Bro, you must have been touched by an angel.
If only someone had thought to think of trying to figure out treatment plans, then
I'm just saying
I've been just like rubbing my ass on the sidewalk.
Dude, they've been testing mad treatment plans. What do you think all that stupid malaria medicine is? And they're using they're testing out HIV medicine, and they're testing out, I don't know, a whole bunch of those are all, none of those are supposed to vaccinate anyone. Those are all supposed to be attempts at a treatment plan, and none of them are working, but,
Did they try talking to the Jews? Because I'm sure they have something.
Oh, right, the Jewish conspiracy. You better be careful. Someone might miss the beginning and think you're serious.
No, I got the uncommon cold one time. Man, the antlers were a pain in the ass in the shower.
Dead air from Mike.
That's what it's like doing a Zoom comedy show. The audience, there's no laughter, and your girlfriend awkwardly laughing in the background.
Well,
it's good, honey. Keep going. They love it. But yeah, how's what?
No, what were you saying?
No, what were you saying? I think you went first.
What are you saying? No, I was gonna bring up the fact that you guys do a podcast like once a year.
Oh yeah.
Everyone should check that out, the Hudson Valley P to the C.
Well, our website's down.
No, it's there. It's just it has
what's the matter with it?
Oh, we just need to give it more money.
I want to talk to it.
People can still listen to it if you go to the website, the Hudson Valley podcast.wordpress.com.
And how did it happen before? It just flew through their window?
Before you would go to a podcasting app to listen to a podcast. Okay. That's the normal way most people listen to podcasts. So because it's not, because we decided to be lazy and not pay for their fancy fees, now we have the wordpress.com at the end, which means it doesn't show up in iTunes and whatever. But you can still listen to it on the website.
Oh, you want? Let's talk about this. I saw an article that said like hundreds of New Yorkers fled to Kingston. Is that true?
Well, I know a lot of them fled upstate. I didn't know Kingston specifically, but that would be
yeah. I mean, driving around there, I didn't really notice an influx of people, but like, yeah.
Well, the only way that I've noticed is that when I'm doing Instacart deliveries, there's definitely people who are like, there's like, you know how up like around the Kingston area, like between here and around Saugerties and Woodstock, there's lots of people with their like weekend and summer houses that usually live in the city. And so I have been doing deliveries to the houses like that where I'm like, all right, this isn't, you don't actually live here. This is like a weekend place or a place that you're usually like Airbnb-ing out and now you're actually staying here.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing that I've noticed. But, I mean, how are you supposed to notice? Everyone's staying at home for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I saw another article from some local fucking website that said the Hudson Valley has stopped social distancing, and I would probably, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's true.
I mean, are they talking about just people being assholes and not social distancing, or are they talking about the rules?
Maybe, I don't know. Like, I tried reading it, and then the pictures were just pictures of people in New York City. And I was like, okay, this is like, it's like one of those articles that, the picture has nothing to do with the actual fucking thing that they're talking about.
I usually listen to Cuomo's little update speeches in the morning, but I didn't listen to this one, so, I mean, maybe, but that seems weird.
Isn't it weird for a politician to, like, get up every morning and be like, I have to address this in a very sober, like, adult politician-y way?
Yeah. It's weird. I've never liked Cuomo. I've never been like, oh, Cuomo's the best. Not really. I haven't hated him, but he's definitely been, like, more disliked than liked. But I don't know, man. Like, he's been definitely winning me over with the way he's handling this. And I know I'm probably going to get hate from some of my super leftist friends, but
I'll take
I don't know.
Soup.
I appreciate the way he's handled it. Like, Giuliani, he's a piece of shit. He's crazy. Like, look at what he's doing nowadays. But, people still to this day talk about how well he handled things after 9/11. You could be like someone who is generally not someone I like, but you handle crises well. And I feel like he's handling the crisis well.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the way he handled it is he, like, I don't like him either, but he talked about it like an adult that was the fucking mayor of a major city.
President.
You what?
Like, look what you're comparing him to, because you're so
that
used
is
to
exactly what I'm comparing him
to. Yeah, exactly. You're so used to him saying, like, some crazy stuff and talk about ratings and whatever. Then you have a guy who's just doing his job like he should and talking rational about it in a pandemic, and people are like, oh, this guy's the best thing in the world. It's like, no, he's just doing what a normal person should do at their job,
Yeah, but okay, I'll give you that.
The bar has been set so fucking low.
But, that's what I say. Like, I'll give you that it's not that he's doing anything that's outside of what we would hope somebody would do in that position. But the fact is that is not what people are doing in that sort of position of an executive office. So,
people are kind of like, I mean, everyone's doing all crazy shit, but I don't think any of us would want to be in the seat to make those decisions, So
I didn't run for it either.
That'd be really funny if you did. Like, I got 2 votes. Why didn't?
I better have both the arguments.
There's a guy, a congressman, that was like 5 congressmen ago in my district, John Hall. He was the singer of the band Orleans. Does that sound familiar?
No.
Oh, it doesn't.
In the 70s.
I'm glad.
I don't.
He sang
No,
the song,
I don't know it.
He sang that song that you hear in Rite Aid. It's called "Still the One."
Still the one. That one?
Yes, that one.
Oh my God. Okay, so he's the mayor of Wappingers Falls?
No. He was the congressman for my district.
That includes Wappingers Falls.
Yes. Back in like 2005 or whatever. And when he ran as a Democrat, so the Republicans, what they used against him was his album cover, because it was just like him and 5 other dudes shirtless, and they were like, "Do you want this man to be your congressman?" God.
Do you remember when they tried to pull Delgado's creative record from his album that he released back when he was like 18, 20?
I heard about it. I heard of it.
He released a rap album when he was very young.
Oh boy. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Our congressman over here in
whatever. That's fine.
Well, if they're using some guy's picture of some guy shirtless against him, it doesn't. That actually makes them getting mad about Delgado having some lyrics that seems like he might not like white people in his rap album that he released in the early 90s. So strange.
Yeah, I mean,
imagine it. I'm sorry, go on, Mick.
Oh, I was gonna say both ended up winning.
Yeah, I know, which is fantastic.
But I still write that guy in every time, because he did this like meet your congressman thing, and I went down to Wappingers Town Hall and like I talked to him and like asked a question and like all that kind of stuff. It was really cool. So since then, every time that there's a Congress vote. And he hasn't ran in fucking like a decade. I still write him in. And I really
wait, who?
The shirtless guy who did.
This guy Delgado?
No, the other one.
No, John Hall. The guy was
John Hall. Still the one?
Oh, and wait.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of music?
So I really...
Okay, you're getting weird. Delgado had a rap album, but the guy that Mike is talking about was some band from the 70s who did that the one song.
So they're just like Led Zeppelining out, kind of,
Hello?
with their big hair.
Oh, I don't know.
Hello?
Oh, can you not hear me?
I think I got cut off.
Uh-oh, I can still hear you. Hold on.
No. I can still hear you.
Okay.
Hello?
No, I was just explaining to Francis because he lost the plot there for a second.
I was mixing up my
point being is,
and my rocks.
I really hope that there's somebody at the Dutchess County Election Board that calls him and is like, "Hey, you got 1 vote in Wappingers Falls." He's probably like, "Who the fuck is this asshole still writing me in?"
Mom, you need to cut it out. You're embarrassing me. No, I remember I voted for Anthony Delgado, not because I'm intelligent or anything. I was just like, I think you made me.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. He was fucking shit-faced drunk at like 10:30 in the morning, and I came over and I was like, "So, do you want to vote?" And he was like, "No, but I'm drunk enough, so we might as well do it now before I get sober and change my mind." And so I took him there, and I was worried they were going to kick him out because he was very drunk. But apparently they don't really care.
I don't think everybody else votes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But no, then he had he won, and then he had a a celebration party or whatever, victory party at the Anchor while I was working. And I was like, "Oh, it's that dude." And like went up to him and I was just like, "Hey," because I had to like keep bringing them food anyway. So I wasn't like just going up to him. I was like bringing food and drinks. And I was like, "I voted for you." And he's like, "That's what I like to hear." Like, gave me a big hug. But I remember when his like rap video came out, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was so much worse though.
It was barely anything.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was like rated G in 1991. Imagine if like his video came out and it was like Tekashi 6ix9ine. He was just like, "I don't fuck with old hoes, only new hoes."
I mean, for 91, it could have been bad. It could have been way...
It could have been. Yeah, there was all sorts of, like the gangster rap and all that. But no, it really was not that bad.
Yeah.
People were stretching.
Well, good for him. Isn't his like headquarters like over in Uptown somewhere?
Yeah.
That makes it sound so evil.
His
It's at the top of Volcano Mountain. His compound.
I don't remember exactly where it is, but I definitely drive by the sign.
Yeah.
Don't smoke, kids.
Well, that's one thing I've been doing a lot, smoking weed.
Yeah. When I first met Mike, just for context of everyone else, he didn't smoke weed at all. And,
nope.
Yeah,
what
I don't know.
What did you do to him?
It wasn't even my fault. It had nothing to do with me. I don't know.
No.
What happened, Mike? Explain yourself.
Well, I did an edible with my friend Lindsay, and it was pretty awesome. So I just was kind of casual about it, and then quarantine happened, and there's little to do, and
fair enough.
Very fun, and it blocks out. Like I don't think that anything's going on when I do. So, which is not a problem as long as I'm locked in my house or the car.
Okay.
I just fear that if I ever want to walk the street while high, I'd be like, oh, this is normal life. COVID's not a thing. And then I just start hugging people.
Right.
Well, that's why you need a pimp.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. But yeah, no, I've been driving around the Catskills, getting ice cream and going to farm stands. I tried goat's milk.
Would you join the Hells Angels?
Nice driving. Goat's milk's good. I like goat's milk.
Is there a lot of Hells Angels that try goat's milk?
No, what people do, like, especially right now with this weather, this is the people who only get on their motorcycle twice a year will all go out, like, right now when it first starts being nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
we call it organ donor season.
Ooh.
That's fucking uplifting.
People who don't have that much experience using their bikes, running around on their bikes, it happens.
I'm in organ boner season.
Oh, boy.
I mean, there's a lot of that, too.
Yeah.
I spell it BONOR. I don't fuck with one O, only two O's.
Oh, God. You know what I've not done? I've not written a single joke.
No.
Really? I've barfed a couple out and written them down.
Yeah, I noticed over the past half hour.
Oh, man.
Yeah. No, I've thought of a few things, and then I'm like, what's the point? We're not going to do, because, I look at it even if we're allowed to do stand-up, most shows are going to have to be, less than 200 people, right? So all the big arena acts are going to be bumped down to clubs again, and all the club guys are going to be bumped down to feature acts, and all the feature acts are going to be bumped down to bar shows, which is my bread and butter.
Right.
And then all the guys who do bar shows are going to be bumped down to fucking Zoom. So
I never thought of that, but you probably are right. That fucking sucks.
Unless the guys who are doing clubs and big venues, don't want to do the small shows, then, guys like me and David and whatever, we can kind of still do what we do because we're not bringing in that big crowd anyway.
Right.
Well, firemen are probably going to be crappier firemen after this.
Where's
you know what I mean? Because nobody's leaving their house with the gas on these days, so then they're going to show up and be like, "How do you do this again? Woo!"
All rusty. Yeah.
They're going to be running with buckets.
Oh shit! We forgot. There's a hose.
Bucket brigade, and then they'll be like, "Shit! There's only 4 of us."
Oh.
Fill the bucket halfway, and you could probably toss it to me.
Well, they still got to get cats out of trees, right?
Yeah, I guess it's a thing. I don't.
Is it though?
No, it's not.
No, I think that's such a non-thing. Is
it just a movie thing, or has?
I think
can
that's
I
just
call
like
a fireman and be like, "Hey, my cat's stuck in the tree"?
No.
I bet you there was one story in like 1917 where some cat that was just so bad at being a cat, it did not know how to get back down from the tree. And it was just like this big heartfelt thing, like, fireman called to save cat. And then it became Looney Tunes. And it's never happened since then. Because most cats are like, oh, fuck, I'm a cat. I'm going down the
Cats getting stuck in trees is definitely a thing. But firefighters getting called, I think that's just in like those old, I was going to say, I don't know names of things. One of those old, like super wholesome black and white sitcoms in the suburbs from the 50s. Name one. That's where you have
you
cats.
just described it.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, name one specifically?
Yeah, I was trying to think of one, but I don't know what any of them are called.
Leave It to Beaver.
Leave It to Beaver. There you go. I think that's just a Leave It to Beaver thing.
Oh, okay.
If you want to do a stereotype of Americana back when America was great. That's when people were running around in their fire trucks to get cats out of trees. You can't see me, but I had air quotes on that, just so you know.
Okay.
So
yeah,
firemen
cats.
The best is Superman saving cats out of trees for like those apple pie ads.
What?
Do you remember that?
Thing?
No.
Did you ever read comics, Mike?
Yes.
You know, like the Hostess pies?
Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
And it would always be like one page thing of like a bunch of kids like, ooh, Hostess pies. And then like Lex Luthor would be like, F you, I'm sending you to concentration camp. And they'd be like, ah! And then Superman would come punch them and they'd all eat the pies together.
What does that have to do with cats and trees?
It was like the same
Superman
thing.
would save cats, kind of.
Superman has saved cats out of trees is why it made me think of it. Superman has definitely saved cats out of trees.
All right, I believe it.
What is your go-to, I don't know if you smoke weed, Francis, but what is your go-to high food to snack on?
Oh.
Honestly, I'm kind of weird because when I am first high, like, I'm never like a smoke pot and then eat immediately guy. Like, it turns me off completely. I want to talk and hang out and be weird. But then, like, 2 hours later, when I'm burnt out, that's when I want to mow down.
And what do you go for?
I don't know, man. Like, I'm like a basic bitch. Like, a pizza is good shit. You know? Sweets are only an occasional thing for me. But I don't know, dude. Pizza. Anything that makes you go, and not be able to talk for a while.
April.
I'm the same way. I actually don't get the munchies from weed. I get drunk munchies like crazy. Like, if I'm drunk, I want to go eat everything, but I don't get munchies from smoking weed.
I feel like all intoxicants kill my appetite immediately, but then later I'm starving, and that's when I'll, like, eat my arm in the middle of the night, wake up no arm, and be like, what? My arm's in a to-go box next to the bed.
You have to put, like, arm braces on now.
Well, have you been eating all healthy in your house with all your new pot smoking, or?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm not high, yeah, I'm eating great. I've been eating better than I ever have. Like,
when you're
making
not
these
high.
giant, when I'm not high. When I am high, chips and queso is a standard go-to, and then I've been dipping my spoon in chocolate ice cream, and then a scoop of peanut butter, and then I'll pour a little coffee syrup on it.
That's cute, eating peanut butter with things. I don't do that.
Yeah, and then I'll chow down on that, which is not great, but you know.
Whatever, you put the peanut butter on the ice cream, so that means there's protein that balances it out, you know?
Yeah, I got really high the other night, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I decided to make a egg grilled cheese sandwich. And my dad was like passed out on the sofa.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
when you said you're eating healthy, I'm picturing like you have nothing but healthy food in your house. So then when you get high, then you have no choice but to like get $50 worth of shit from Domino's. You don't already have it, because that's kind of what we have done a lot over the last week.
We only buy healthy food, but then we are like,
Yeah,
I mean, my fucking fridge, that's what they're called, is been filled with more vegetables than ever before in its existence. So that's a good thing.
Eating them, or are they aspirational vegetables?
No. I'm eating them. You know, okay. We're eating them every day, trying to be healthy, trying to build up our immune system, trying to lose weight, trying to have better blood pressure, all that shit. But, you know, there's also some cookies and some ice cream and some peanut butter. So, you gotta do what
I just ordered a bunch of cookies from Raymond Ott. You know him?
Yeah, the comic, right?
Yeah. He also is a cookie man.
He makes cookies?
Yeah, he has a company. And, like, well, I guess when the world was normal, he, like, would sell them to you like a person, but now it's just through the mail.
Oh,
but yeah,
crazy.
Check out Raymond Ott's Cookies. I forget what it's called right now. It's a really clever name. Raymond Ott.
Ott thing.
Yeah, it is definitely Ott something, but I don't fucking know. But I ordered a bunch of cookies for April's birthday because she's a cookie man.
I love cookies. Yeah, I haven't gotten to taste them yet, so I can't vouch for them yet. But I've
heard very good things about them.
So yeah,
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, you're all about supporting local businesses and local food. He's a local company you know personally, and he's trying to make money selling cookies.
There's one thing I know about Michael Milkshake Marino. He's all about supporting local comics and local food. So check out Raymond Ott Cookie. Get yourself a milkshake. What's your milkshake of choice? Like, if you could have a milkshake, like when it's really milkshake time, like from anywhere, like where would it be from?
Okay, well, I mean, my go-to is just a classic thick chocolate milkshake, and if they have a tin, just keep it in the tin. You know, just don't put it in the cup.
You don't go for the malt?
What?
You don't go for the malt?
Oh, yeah, I could go for that, you know. But it's not like a
classic chocolate and a classic chocolate malt milkshake. I go for the malt every
time.
I
dig the malt.
Shit's good.
Yeah, that is good. My friend Alyssa works at Stewart's, and what she does for me is she uses their chocolate milk and their chocolate ice cream and chocolate syrup, and that's really good.
Milkshake was supposed to have milk in it anyway.
Yeah, but she's saying
but she uses chocolate milk.
All right.
To triple up on the chocolate.
Yeah, but one of my best milkshakes, I think April had one time, I'm not sure, but in Brooklyn there's a place called Oddfellows, and what they do is have espresso coffee crunch ice cream, and they use cold brew instead of milk, and that shit is fucking banging.
Yeah, I think we've been there more than once, honestly.
yeah, I try to go there every time I'm fucking in Brooklyn, to be honest with you. But in Milford, Pennsylvania, this isn't a milkshake, but my favorite flavor there's a place called the Milford Dairy Barn, makes their own ice cream, and it's chocolate covered pretzel with sea salted caramel ice cream, and that was really good too.
So wait, there's things you have to chew in your milkshake?
No. Well, I guess the espresso crunch, maybe a little bit, yeah.
It's pretzel flavored, or it has pretzels in it?
No, it has pretzels in it, but it's covered in chocolate, so it doesn't get soggy, and the salt doesn't seep in.
He prefaced it by saying, "This is not a milkshake. This is just a thing I like."
So it's a blizzard.
No. But I guess for the sake of it, yeah.
You can't say no twice and then I guess.
Ice cream flavor, not a milkshake or a blizzard, just a type of ice cream that has pretzels in it.
I'm just picturing blizzards, and they were fucking frustrating.
A blizzard. You know Tim Dillon, the comic?
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
Big fat gay guy rants like Alex Jones on his podcast sometimes.
All right, well then probably I know him because he's famous, not because I know him.
Okay, yeah. Well, he made this great like 8-minute video about ice cream that I wish I created a bit, but he had this great joke about Dairy Queen. He, cause he was like, name like a good ice cream brand, and then he would just kind of rip on them, Somebody was like Dairy Queen. He's like Dairy Queen. He's like the only thing that they're known for, they're not even known for being good. The only thing they're known for is that you could turn their ice cream upside down and it won't fall out. Something like that.
Quite accurate.
Francis actually used to work at Dairy Queen.
No, that's not.
Oh, Friendly's. Sorry, my bad.
No.
Gotta mix
Dude,
it up.
Friendly's the cone head. That's the classic.
I love that cone
forget
head.
about it.
When I was a kid, that cone head was the shit.
When I did work there for a very short time, I remember I was on the ice cream line, and they taught us how to do all the ice cream, and it was like they could not stress enough the entire time, like, this is the peanut area, and this is the something else area, so that people don't, like, explode from peanuts. And then as soon as the place would get busy, it was fucking storming the beaches in Normandy, dude. The peanuts flying, getting stuck in your eye. Everything was out the window. And those fucking cone heads would be going out looking like fucking Pennywise, dude. It was fucking sad.
Now that
I
I've gotten a cute looking fucking cone head.
No, it looks cool on the menu, and then it comes out like its parents were related.
Yeah, dude, Friendly's was back in the day. You get the honey barbecue chicken super melt, and then a chocolate cone head. The show was great.
I think I heard recently that they are no longer like in business at all. But I could be. But I think that they could have just closed most of their locations, which I think, is definitely the case. But I don't think they exist.
I think there's got to be some in the South.
Somebody
fact check.
Fact check.
But no, Dairy Queen. Like, I don't give a fuck about the. Like, when I was in Little League, we used to go to Dairy Queen after the fucking games because we had one in Saugerties, and we would get dilly bars. You know what a dilly bar is?
Yeah.
A hunk of shit covered in chocolate-flavored wax. That was garbage. Blizzards are garbage. They're too chunky. You can't fucking get into it. But Dairy Queen's burgers and shit are legit. Like, ask April. That is my favorite fast food. If I'm trying to fucking, like, hog out on, like, a burger, Dairy Queen is my jam. And Dairy Queen has tacos in Texas. They're not good, but they're still tacos from Dairy Queen. They're places a block from your house.
Well, I heard that Dairy Queen's food is like kind of a step above McDonald's, right?
Absolutely. It's my favorite.
I don't think I've ever eaten food at a Dairy Queen before in my entire life.
You didn't have it that night you brought it to me?
I think I just brought you one.
All right. Yeah, Dairy Queen's burgers worth a shot.
Yeah, no, I heard they're decent and they're independent franchises. So, like, I know, like, the one in Wappingers, they buy most of their produce from local farms. I don't know about yours.
Fries are not good, too.
All right, here's the fact check. Casualty of a tough economic environment. They filed for bankruptcy, closed a bunch of stores, and they still exist, but with how many are left? Very few. I can't find the exact number, but yes, they did file for bankruptcy, and a ton of them closed, but they still exist.
Yeah. That, I feel like that kind of model just, at least up here, just it doesn't do well. You know, like Denny's, there really isn't that many Denny's around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're similar to Denny's, except they have the whole ice cream side of the thing, which is like a huge headache on top of all the other food you're trying to.
I don't know about.
See, when I used to eat. What?
I was just going to say, I don't know about up here, but when I was in Long Island, I don't think a place like Denny's would work there because there's so many diners that are like quality, really good diners. Like you throw a rock, you hit a fucking diner on Long Island, and they're good diners, they're not garbage. So why would anyone go to a Denny's when you can go to like an amazing diner right next door? I don't know. And up here we got mad fucking ice cream stands everywhere that are like family runs for years and.
I know, bro. They're always like running out in front of cars. That's why it should be okay to hump them.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I used to go to Denny's. Like, this is when I used to eat corporate food. I haven't eaten corporate food in over a decade, but it was when you could still smoke inside restaurants.
Mhm.
So we just go, hang out, smoke cigarettes, and then there was rules to Denny's. You couldn't order anything except for breakfast, grilled cheese, and dessert. Everything else was like not trustworthy.
You ever had a super
melt?
Bird. Yeah, it is a melt.
No, but I heard the melts are decent.
Yeah, the super bird's the jam. It's like turkey. It's like a grilled cheese with turkey.
I had a chicken sandwich there one time, which was the biggest mistake of my life. It was the most grossest fucking thing. It tasted like plastic, first of all, and I don't think it was cooked all that well. It was nasty.
Well, they just cook it long enough to melt the plastic.
The only time I ever went to Denny's was when I was living in El Paso, Texas, and just like how the Taco Bell where you were not the Taco Bell, the Dairy Queen had tacos where you were. The Denny's had menudo soup on Sundays in El Paso, and
damn.
Yeah, do you know about menudo?
I know what it is. Yeah.
So it's this soup that it takes like 2 days to make it or whatever. So usually if you go to a Mexican restaurant that serves it, they only serve it on the weekends. And so there was this Denny's that for whatever reason they decided we're going to have menudo on the weekends.
Wait, you said Dairy Queen to begin with. Do you mean Denny's or do you mean Dairy Queen?
I mean Denny's, yeah. I was bringing up Dairy Queen to say that you used to go to Dairy Queens that had tacos because they have different things, different places. The Denny's in Texas had menudo soup. And it was fucking good. You would think that like menudo from Denny's would be garbage, but it was really good. I think it's because we were in El Paso. Yeah. So whoever the manager of that Denny's was must have had like his grandma come in and like make the menudo for them on the weekends because it was legit menudo. It was really good.
And you know they're banging that shit up from scratch in an hour. And by from scratch, it's a bag with a Terminator code on the side of it.
You used to live in Texas, Francis?
Yeah, I lived in Austin for 6 months.
How are your feelings about Whataburger?
I love Whataburger.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it didn't like blow me away, but it's like damn good, and it's definitely better than like all the normal ones. It's better than McDonald's, better than Burger King, yada yada.
Is it like comparable to a Five Guys?
Five Guys is so different from those things, I can't even compare the two.
Oh, okay. So it's not that kind of style of burger.
No,
it's fast food burger.
Like, what's that?
It's like a standard fast food burger. It just tastes good.
Yeah, and they do wacky shit where it's like chicken and waffle sandwiches and burgers with like entire babies on them and like southern shit.
Yeah, no, I every time I'm in Texas, they're like, you gotta try it, and I never try it, so.
When I moved to Texas, it was the only other place I've lived in is like the Northeast, like the tri-state area plus Maine and a few other, just whatever, the Northeast. And we don't have like a huge variety of bomb fast food around here. Like we don't have the ones that people rave about. We don't have them. So Whataburger was one of the first like not McDonald's or Burger King fast food places I ever had, and I really liked it.
All the time before I tried Whataburger and everybody told me how good it was, which was like several years, I thought it was called Waterburger.
I think everyone has that.
And I was just picturing like Aquaman, but in burger form.
Whataburger also sounds really unappetizing. I had the same thing where everyone was like, "How Whataburger?"
No, it's just the new technology we have for cooking burgers in freezing cold water.
Yeah, we boil them. Isn't that?
We boil them in freezing cold Arctic seal whiz.
Yeah.
Man. Dairy Queen all day. All day. Oh, Dairy Queen burger. Woo! That's good.
Do you have a Dairy Queen in Kingston?
No, it's in Hyde Park.
There was one in Saugerty I grew up, but it closed down, and the closest one is Hyde Park.
Okay.
Dairy Queen has shrimp in Louisiana. I would never eat it, but they have, just in case somebody needs some shrimp.
Dude, like the South has some pretty, like, disgusting fast food.
It also has some bomb fast food. Taco Cabana is amazing. It's only in like Texas and maybe New Mexico. I'm not sure everywhere, but
that's because they don't give a fuck.
Have you ever heard of
one seat in the car?
Have you ever heard of Captain D's?
No.
It's a fast food seafood restaurant, and just the idea sounds fucking nasty. And then Fazoli's, which is fast food Italian food, and it just never sat well with me that you could like just roll up to a drive-thru and get linguine with meatballs. You know?
I mean, of all the things, that probably makes the most sense because pasta takes like 20 seconds to make.
Takes more than that.
Even if you order pasta in a restaurant, they pre-cook it and then they just dump it in hot water to heat it up again before they put it on your plate.
Oh. The magic behind the scenes.
They're not boiling pasta from scratch for every person who orders pasta.
Well, I didn't think that, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that like, if I'm gonna eat that, I want to sit at a table. You know, it's like even like with these restaurants reopening or talking. I saw some of the restrictions in Long Island, and I'm like, what's the fucking point? Why would I want to sit in a place where it looks like we're about to get bombed by a fucking nuclear? You know, I was gonna say bomb again, but that would be repetitive. So I don't know, nuclear disaster or some shit.
A nuclear edible arrangement. It's pronounced nuclear because you mispronounced it. So. I'm putting that to you.
So wait, what are the restrictions? You're only allowed to have like 2 tables in a room or something?
Yeah, I think it's restricted amount of tables or whatever. Everybody has to wear a mask, including the patrons. So in between sips and like bites, you have to put your mask back on. Which your mask could just be full of food at that point. It's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah, and imagine, you're smelling your breath while you're eating it. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, like, no, there's people over 70 aren't allowed in restaurants. And listen, I get it for health, whatever, you're looking out for people. But, like, yeah, I know, but it's just like, what are we doing here? You know, what the fuck? Either all or nothing. I mean, we could talk about all fucking day, what they could have done, should have done, who, what, but, like, I have no interest in doing that, you know. I'll still get takeout from restaurants that I like. Ice cream stands at my fucking world doesn't affect because they're all takeaway anyways.
Right.
You know, so.
Where were you getting seafood that you didn't want to eat it except
Captain D's?
Yeah. The only reason you want to eat it at the table is you don't want to throw up in your car.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is just fucking crazy. But yeah, it's weird. It's gonna be a weird time.
Captain D will make you puke tonight. Take you to Storman Island.
With the anchor, could you actually have people because you have an outdoor patio?
No. No. You can't even smoke on the patio, let alone sneeze AIDS all over me. But no, they went to go.
I think if people were sneezing AIDS, we wouldn't be in the lockdown that we would be right now.
Because they wouldn't pay as much attention because nobody cares.
Everything would still be open.
Have it.
Did you say you have it?
No, I said everyone would have it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there'd be a cure for AIDS real quick. That was the case.
We just need something that only affects billionaires.
Riots?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we have the house. I don't have the outfit for a revolution. Seriously, when I was a little kid, I would just like put like giant spikes all over my fucking jackets and everything. Like, yeah, this will come in handy when the man finally falls. I have to like run around on a bunch of broken cars and sword fight people with swords that shoot guns. Now I'm over here like, belts? I need some soft pants.
You know what? And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. That's a bit. Keep that. Write it down.
That's my life, kid. I don't fuck.
What would be your choice of weapon in a riot? No guns and no bow and arrows.
It depends what the riot is about and who it's against. Like, I mean, I don't want to, like, kill a bunch of people that are just trying to be nice.
Well, a riot's nice. I don't know.
If I'm just trying to keep people away from me,
Okay, yeah. Self-preservation weapon versus fight against the government weapon.
Self-preservation, probably just like mace or something, just so if somebody ran up too close on me and I was like, say brah, and they weren't listening, I go, okay, good night.
Okay.
Mace. I'm strapping on the red lightsaber and the black cape. And, rebellion.
From KB Toys?
No, the red cape.
No, red cape. What are you talking about?
The red, whatever you said, lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm joining the Empire because rebellion is for fools and I deal with the galaxy as is.
And resistance is dumb. Now I get it. Comes full circle.
Yeah, I'm going to stick tubes in my head and assimilate motherfuckers. Just by touching their head. How do they do it? They shoot a beam at you.
I don't remember.
They send you a letter. It's like a letter bomb, except you open it up and green shit flies out. And you're like, fuck! I am bored.
I hope people I wonder what people are thinking right now that are listening to this. They're like, these guys.
No one's listening to us right now.
It's
live on Wednesday.
So, yeah, so what's your weapon of choice, April?
Oh, I don't fucking know. I'm probably just going to book. My weapon of choice is getting in my car and booking it out of town.
Well, yeah, that's probably a smart thing.
Arizona.
What am I going to do in a riot? Like, there's too many unknown variables. Unless I'm the one wrecking havoc, like if I'm like actually trying to bring down the government, I guess Molotov cocktails.
That's such a pain in the ass, though, and I heard that debunked recently. Like, it's a really good way to just, like, light yourself on fire.
All right, if I'm allowed to choose anything, I guess grenades. I mean, something I can throw at a building and then run away.
But then it goes and bounces back into the people that agree with you.
You know what I think? I think that'd be a great test to see if those work from the Resistance is Dumb podcast.
All right.
I'd want a bunch of wolves. Like, you know when people have, like, 50 dogs on a leash because they're a dog walker in New York City? I'd want that with wolves.
That's actually not bad.
And I'd be like, signs off! And let everybody be fucked.
That's actually great. I like that.
You mean like Halle Berry in John Wick 3?
I don't know.
No, we haven't seen those movies.
Oh, okay.
I've heard they're really good.
I heard John Wick 3 is really good and the rest of them are terrible.
I heard they're all good so far, and 4 is coming out.
Yeah, they're all sick. Fucking love them. Yeah, no, I don't know. I guess it would depend, like, if the riot happened around you, you kind of have to go with it till you can escape or join in. But yeah, I don't know.
I would smear poop all over my arms and then be like, ah!
I don't know. If inciting the riot, I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of scary.
All I need is a V for Vendetta mask and a boomerang. Set me loose.
I think, like, you just kind of have to go crazy, right? Like, crazy if you look, people won't fuck with you.
But when you're in a big crowd of people all going crazy, nobody's checking your face before they hit you.
No, unless you're wearing, like, a Big Bird outfit and having a sword.
All right, fair enough. Big Bird outfit and sword might be a good visual cue that this one's nuts, stay away.
People be like, what the fuck?
Baseball bat's always a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently put a baseball bat, my dad told me to get one, and so we can put it to the front door in case some crazy shit happens.
It's a good idea.
Did you see Us?
No.
Movie.
You should keep it somewhere besides by the front door. That's all I'm gonna
Is that the one where there's like other people that are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of freaked me too much out in the commercial, so I'm never going to see that.
It was really scary. I loved it.
Does it really explain who the other people are?
Yeah, in a way that leaves a lot of stuff open to interpretation, but yeah, they do explain generally where they're from.
Are they you or not really?
Are you gonna watch it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, they are.
Coupons.
But that is explained in about as quickly and briefly as I just explained it, and the woman who's explaining it says it, like, even says, like, I'm not sure, but I think this is why we exist. So, like, they leave a lot open for, like, oh, I wonder if it's this or if it's this.
Got ya. Okay, yeah, no, I'm never going to see that. That's good. I'm currently watching The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot.
What?
That's one movie, by the way.
Yes, you are correct.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
The title of the movie is called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot?
Bigfoot, yeah.
Do you want to yourself?
I can tell you. Well, it stars Sam Elliott from Roadhouse.
Sam Elliott.
That is.
Have you ever seen The Big Lebowski?
Yeah.
You know the cowboy guy in the beginning that's like, this is a story about the dude.
Okay, yeah.
That's Sam Elliott.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and I'm 40 minutes in because I'm watching it before you called, and it's actually pretty good so far. I mean, I have another hour and something to go, but yeah, so far, you know, we haven't gotten to Bigfoot, but the whole Hitler thing's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, they kind of imply it's and then Bigfoot. You got to wait.
Yeah, but it's not as bad or like, you know, because I thought it was gonna be some cheesy, like, you know, 1980s horror movie kind of thing, and it's pretty decent so far.
You ever seen, either of you seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Yes, I have.
All the books to read.
I read
that one.
I was hanging out at a bar one night in New Orleans and just got into a particularly engaging conversation with this guy, and we just started talking about like who we are and what we do, and he was like, well, I'm doing character designs for this movie, and I'm really not supposed to talk about it. And I was like, all right. And he was like, but I'll tell you all about it. And I was like, okay. He's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And then he like pulls out this notebook and shows me all these like sketches of like vampire-looking ass vampires with like Civil War regalia on and shit. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then, yeah, that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
I saw Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, which is the same book series as
Funny.
I like that movie.
I read Pride, Prejudice. Oh, yeah, anyway. Pride, Prejudice, and what? No, it's just Pride, Prejudice. I read the actual book like a million times.
Oh.
So then I was like, oh,
Pride and Prejudice, yeah. Yeah, this is about zombies, and it had every fucking character from Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Yeah, Doctor Who.
Oh, you mean every actor from Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was the other one? It was like something in Sea Monsters by the same author.
That I don't.
It was like Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. I swear to God, that was like the sequel.
Let's
I swear to Christ.
Prejudice and Zombies. And let's see the author of the book.
We're just going for alliteration at this point.
Is there any good Loch Ness Monster movies?
There isn't another one. He said Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Well, are you looking at movies or books?
Books that he wrote.
Well, then maybe somebody else ran with it, because there's definitely fucking Sensibility in Sea Monsters.
Okay.
Or
some other guy.
It might be something else in Sea Monsters, but it's like one of those Victorian like big hat chicks or fucking worried about Mr. Darcy movies. And Sea
Monsters. One movie freaked me out when I was younger. You ever see March of the Wooden Soldiers?
No.
Yeah, but I don't remember it.
There was some creatures that came from underground.
Oh, and they were like monkey looking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I used to hide behind the sofa when that came on. Also Ghost Rider, that used to freak me out too.
Ghost Rider? Like
I think the
WRITER?
No, RIDER.
I'm asking you. It's two different
I
things.
don't know. I just remember I never wanted to watch it because it freaked me out.
Skull on a motorcycle, or was it about a ghost that wrote books and little kids solved mysteries?
Little kids solve mysteries.
Yeah, that's Ghost Rider. Corniest, cost $24 an episode shit in the world. So freaks you out.
It would freak me out, yeah.
Actually, I assumed you were talking about Ghost Rider because that obviously that would be the one that would freak out a little child.
Oh, no.
I remember that show, and then the words would appear as though you were, like, writing on the oldest computer in the world with your finger.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even, like, as scary as, like, a Ouija board. It was just like, I like cheese! And they'd be like, that's not what we're talking about. And then he'd be like, I will kill your family! No, I never done that.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that's the show. Well, that's the show.
That freaked you out. You know what used to freak me out, dude, and nightmares for fucking years? Double Dare.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if neither of you ever seen that, you wouldn't understand that was a joke, that show is not scary at all.
Oh.
It was the game show where kids would jump around in fucking kiddie pools full of mustard and throw hot dogs at each other.
Okay.
Throw hot dogs.
Summers. We don't know Mark Summers?
No.
Oh, Jesus. How old are you, Mike?
32.
Damn, you don't know I almost said Delaware. You don't double with...
No, I've never heard of Delaware before.
Damn, Double Dare is like a Nickelodeon institution. And then there was Super Sloppy Double Dare where they like upped the ante where it was just like ketchup would fly all over everything.
Oh, you know, I wasn't really a Nickelodeon kid.
I think it was kid. I'm glad you corrected that. I'm not the Nickelodeon man.
I find it a little odd that I like Disney movies, sure, and Disney World's cool, but do you find it a little odd, like, with the people that are, like, obsessed with all of it?
Dude, not only do I find it odd, when I find out that somebody is a Disney person, because that's what those people are, I don't like them anymore. Or I might still like them, but I just have a little bit less respect for them than I did before I found that out.
Like, it's a little weird. I've met some people, especially on dating websites, that are like, they dress like them on a daily basis, you know, and it's not even like adult stuff, it's all little kid stuff. Like, great, I love the Jungle Book, sure, but it's not even the Jungle Book. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just too much for me.
Jungle Book.
No, I totally get it. And like, I'm not talking to the people who like Disney movies. Obviously, Disney isn't around for this long because they don't make good movies. And,
yeah, great movies.
But yeah, Disney people, like people who that's their fucking thing, that's their whole personality trait is that they're a Disney person. Yeah, those people are fucking weird.
Yeah, my grandparents were what she's describing as, they weren't even as crazy as some people, but they were Disney people. Like, they like went to the park a lot. I've been to Disney World 9 times in my life, which is weird for somebody that lives a 2-day drive from it. And they had like brothers and sisters, and there were my aunts and uncles that were like Disney motherfucking people. Like, I remember going to this like barbecue, like what do you call it, like family reunion type thing one day, and it was like I'd use the bathroom, and they're like, oh yeah, just go in the trailer and like take a left and da da da, and I go in and it's like, okay, this is the Mickey room. And I take the next room and it's like, this is the Peter Pan room, and I was like, ah! I just like peed my pants.
It's just something fucking. You know what it is? It's not. I I get fandom. Fandom is fine. When anyone is a certain level obsessed with anything, it kind of creeps me out a little bit. And then there's something specifically about Disney that I find a little bit extra creepy on top of like creepiness.
It's for little kids, you know, and like it's like you never grew up. And I'm not talking about like I love the movies. I'd go to the park if you asked me to go to the park tomorrow. I would go. But like I'm talking about the people with like bed sheets, underwear, socks, like you know their everyday dress, you know their glasses, like everything's just like.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Where it turns into a personality trait. Like I love Star Trek. I'm not gonna be fucking running around wearing Star Trek themed clothing in public.
Come on, when quarantine's over.
No, I'm not gonna fucking wear Spock ears in public, and I'm not going to decorate if I get an office, and I'm not gonna decorate my office with Star Trek themed bullshit. Like I'm allowed to like something and fan out on something. It doesn't mean that it's my entire personality.
Yeah, I think the entire personality was what creeps me out. 'Cause like I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I like comic books, and like you know I have Star Wars shirts and memorabilia, but like
the moment I come over your house and every surface in your house is covered with Star Wars stuff, then I'm gonna be like, ew.
Yeah, you need a little variety, you know. Variety.
Life does suck, though. You know, it's like
I mean, I get it. It's an escape, right?
Hey, I get escapism, but if your whole escapism is built around one corporation, that just seems odd to me.
I can't tolerate escapism.
All right, we're at like a long ass time, so we should probably wrap this up.
Oh yeah. I don't know. What do you want to wrap it up with?
Do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I'll be nowhere ever.
All right, so make sure you guys come out like nowhere.
I mean, I'll do private comedy shows. If somebody wants to hire me, I'll go to your fucking garage and start telling jokes or some shit. But no, I don't know. I was supposed to be in Virginia, North Carolina. I was supposed to have like 3 tours in the months that have been, canceled and everything. So,
oh man.
So I was supposed to be in Texas this month. I was supposed to be in Florida next month. I was supposed to be in Virginia last month. Like,
Texas, you could still do that.
Yeah.
I might. I'm thinking about it. But I wouldn't fly. I'd have to drive. But I don't know. Like my friend who has a comedy club out there, like he just posted the rules. You know, they're doing temperature checks on people outside. I'm like, I'm good.
That makes it better, in my opinion.
Doing temperature checks?
Yeah, I mean, at least taking some steps.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were trying to set up.
Yeah, no, I mean, temperature checks make sense. That's where a lot of businesses are still open to do a temperature check in the morning before you start.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It's like... It's
not like they're using the same thermometer over and over again. They have the little paper disposable ones.
Ah, what a waste. She's the same one.
Like, I'll read you the post. Okay. Temperature checks will be taken out the front door. A thermometer, forehead thermometer. Anybody who has a fever will be denied. We ask if you're sick, stay home, but obviously. Every patient needs to have a face mask on. The person to enter the bar, disposable mask will be available for $1. All drinks must be made while wearing a face mask. We have to patrons wear face masks whenever possible. Comedy shows will be held at social distance seating. There will be table service. All that kind of, I don't know, a bunch of this shit. But, like, I don't know. Like, at that point, why fuck go out, you know?
That
like,
way worse.
Yeah, it sounds responsible, but, like, I wouldn't want to go out. I'll just wait it out, you know?
You know what? I'm gonna save a clip of you saying that so that in like 3 weeks when you're losing your mind and missing comedy and you're like, I need to do something, I'm gonna play this back to you and be like, hey, remember?
You know what? No, because I'm pretty adaptable. Like, if you tell me it is what it is and it is what it like, I'm not dying to fucking. It sucks. My shows are canceled. I missed the road. but am I gonna miss this like this weird? I'm not interested in it.
The only thing I've seen so far that's made me like a little bit hopeful is Corey David.
Yeah.
He did a parking lot show with everybody distanced out. And just the only thing is that you need a good sound system for that, especially for outside, because a lot of it's going to get lost if it's just you have to have really good sound. But I was like, wow, that's actually the first cool thing I've seen.
And if you're making people stand away from each other outside, that's actually pretty good because apparently, as long as there's any kind of breeze whatsoever, shit blows away, dissipates quickly.
Yeah. I don't know how it's all gonna go, but I'm not in a rush to fucking get back to fucking business. So, but yeah, I don't know. Follow me on Instagram, Milkshake Marino. I will be posting ice cream reviews this summer, and I do have a couple of episodes of this thing I was trying to do with comics go to ice cream shops. That it is being edited, and hopefully I will be releasing that. But other than that, nothing really going on. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Remember when you asked me to be on the Hudson Valley podcast?
Yep.
That all led to this.
Sweet.
All right, dude. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're doing well.
Oh, yeah. No problem. You guys have a great night, and take care, everybody.
You too.
Call it 2, signing off.
All right, well, that was our chat with Mike Marino. He's awesome. Michael Milkshake Marino. You can find him on Facebook, as he said, Instagram, and all the stuff he said about how you could check him out. Also, the Hudson Valley podcast, which comes out every once in a while, which he does with this lady. Let's plug us. You can check us out on Resistance is Dumb on Facebook, on YouTube for visual and audio, and then for just audio on every podcast format known to man.
And our website is resistanceisdumb.com.
And this is what we do. We talk and we're dumb. And also, as we've said, check out her interview with Nurse Peggy last night, who is a COVID, because I'm fancy, COVID unit RN, and who's seen it on the front lines. Check that out. People enjoyed it. So if you haven't seen that yet, it's fun. It's informative. Check it out. I don't know if it's fun, but it's a thing. And we're going to end with one more song from my brother. And I'll stress this again when I say my brother. I don't mean my brother. I mean we have the same parents. This is my sibling. And he's probably the most talented musician I've ever met in my life. And this is actually my favorite song that he's ever written. It's called Paradise, and it was actually his old band Deep Chatham, spelled Chatham, but he owns the song, so that's fine, and that's enough of a plug for them. Matt Heckler, check it out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Oh, buttons are not toys.
Buttons are not toys!
Done me wrong. I sit up on that mountaintop and sing that lonesome song. Cause life goes on forever, every second people die, and still they spend their glory days fearing for their lives. They're going home. Up in the Catskill Mountains, and it's times like this I wouldn't trade for golden gates or mountains. Just hope we get this fire started before the cold sets in, cause there ain't enough whiskey left to die in this one sin. I'm going home. I'm going home, and I'll die without a scratch on my soul. apple tree. If you set your senses to it, then damn your soul will be. But temptation blew strong that day from a southern wind. I escaped from the tree and said, taste don't kinda sin. Now if I was out of mountain that day, I'd take more than a bite. Now you know I'd fill my pockets up and slip into the night. If I got caught red-handed, I would proudly plead. Where I come from, there's apples and a snake in every tree. I'm going home. I'm going home, and I'll die without a scratch on my soul. And now the sun it sits in paradise up in the Catskill Mountains. And it's times like this I wouldn't trade the golden gates are found. Just hope we get this fire started before the cold sets